and welcome to the Baseball Clash Jeff YouTube channel. I'm Jeff, the host. Today's video, we're going to do a revamp of that bot video that we did a couple weeks ago. This one is going to be a little bit better structured and organized. I know the audio was a little bit poor in the first one, had trouble hearing. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to turn the sound effects off in game so that we can actually hear a little bit more of what I had to say on that. Still pretty much the same layout here. You really want Max in right field. That's a big help. Anybody in center that's got a strong arm, not a requirement, but helps out if you got Giro. But the main piece here is having Murdoch in either Rose or Jessica. In the last video we did Rose, so we're going to try out Jessica. A little bit smaller circle with Jessica, but it's pretty much the same effect here, right? So, and if you missed it, breaking news, bringing home that #1 championship, effective as of the end of the season yesterday. So that was exciting. So I think this will probably be it for me as far as competing on the ladder, but you never know. I grinded pretty good last night, and we're back in first again. So we'll see how it goes. But I think this month will just be, and moving forward, we'll really probably just be focusing more on content. So without further ado, we'll move right on into the bot video. If you guys like this kind of content, please drop a like. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment in the comment section below. It really helps out. And if you have not done so, please subscribe to the channel. Dropping a lot of good content. That way you guys don't miss anything. You get alerted, notified for anything that I do drop in the future. I think we're almost, we're getting close to that 100 sub mark. So the channel's growing. You know, we're definitely getting more people, getting a bigger audience here. So again, sound effects are turned off just so that you guys can hear me talking more. So that's kind of more important than, end game sound effects and whatnot. So Kyle leads us off with a home run against Simon. So bots are going to throw a lot of strikes, right? And I hear a lot of opinions thrown around about how to play bots and mix up balls and strikes, throw here, don't throw there. But I'm just going to show you firsthand what I know to work, and I'll prove it to you here in the bottom half of the ninth when Murdoch takes the mound. All right, so here comes Simon. Fastball in there for strike one against Giro. Typically, like I mentioned in the last video, 4 runs, that's your target, right? And we take strike 3 right there. 4 runs is pretty much the goal. Sometimes against the tougher pitchers like Simon, Riley, maybe you don't get to that mark. And but 4 runs is your goal because the bots are going to score runs, right? They are going to hit the ball most of the time. And Justice drills one. That's going to get through to the wall for a double. So we'll go through all the tips and tricks. We'll play a few games, try to cover it all the best that we can. So, like I said, against bots, they're going to throw lots of strikes. They will mix and match a little bit of balls here and there. Simon here throwing a lot of strikes, going to get out of the inning here, and that will be that. So we only get 1 run. Dangerous hitter and Dave coming up. Typically against left-handed batters, you want to keep the ball fastball. Well, against all batters, really. You're going to notice a very specific pitch sequence. So this right here, this is where your fastballs get thrown. 4-seam fastball. They don't go up in the zone. You don't change to this side of the plate, even against a right-handed batter. You stay on that bottom right corner. Right-hand batter or left-hand batter. Right? Now we got 2 strikes on Dave. Curveballs. Against left-hand batters, you see I go up and in. Right-hand batters, it's the same. Your curveball will go up and in. So bots are going to get hits. especially if you get 2 quick outs on a bot, expect the next batter to get a hit or maybe a home run. That's just typically how it works. Sometimes you can get a 1, 2, 3, but I'd say maybe that's 50-50. So now I'll show you the pitch sequence here against a right-handed batter if he doesn't square up on the first pitch here. So we got fastball in there low, and we have that curveball up and in. Okay, and then you're just going to repeat this process. Fastball, four-seamer low. And they'll swing at balls sometimes, maybe not every time, but they will swing. And there's a strike. And Martin gets a hold of that one. Quick trip right here. If the runner was to be advancing there, which it looks like he stayed at first, this will just make sure that he does stay at first. Typically, a pitch won't go by. You'll just start the next at-bat fresh. Ground out to Emily. Fastball low and in on that right side again. And we get the quick out there on the Carlos at-bat. And that ends that game right there. So hopefully a little bit more gameplay here in the second one. So I can show you guys. We didn't get it really anybody. There's a few things that I'd like to discuss too. So just tips and tricks. Like for instance, if you get a hit with nobody on to the outfield, and the fielder in the outfield fields it before your runner touches first base, that throw is going to go to first. Right? It's going to go to first. With runners on, different story. But with the bases empty, you can always almost take that extra base if your runner is fast enough. Is Kaya drilling one, and she's not going to attempt it there to take second base. So we missed it, but if you guys rewind, you can see Murdoch's win-loss ratio here, right? And Murdoch, and we'll click out here as well. We'll go back in, and Kaya should be back at second. But Murdoch, and actually Jiro's gone right there too. Murdoch with a 90% win percentage. I think it's just under 90. It's like 89%. I only use Murdoch really if I'm doing bot videos or content. I played him a lot before I started doing any content, but since I kind of figured it out, Murdoch has been just pretty much essential on these bot videos. So Andre, gonna pop that one out again. Four-seamer low and in, curveball up and in, and now we got Dave. Dangerous. Now in this case right here, Dave is getting buffed to a hit to left field, right? As he's going to ground out there. Oh, I thought there was 2 outs. Now there's 3 outs. Okay. So that fastball, I intentionally missed that one a little bit low. He gets a hold of that one in the zone. We're pretty screwed. And I think this is the same guy that we just faced, oddly enough. And Kaya. Damn it, Kaya. Trying to get you guys some more offensive gameplay here, but Kaya just refusing to quit. Dropping the hammer quickly. I guess it was a different guy. Just both guys had Simon, apparently. Okay. All right. Well, let's jump into game 3. So, when there are players that, such, for example, Jiro, Rosa, Gibson, those all get a special buff, which potentially cause errors for the opposing team. You can do that half click out method, go back in, and for the Gibson buff hit with the fire line drive, he'll actually be out. You'll actually get a free out if you do that, right? Runners will not advance. And with Rosa and Jiro, when you do the click out, it just will prevent the runners from advancing that extra base, because of that error. So the runners will still go to the base that's directly ahead of them, right? But they're not going to take an extra base, if that makes sense. So Again, left-handed batter or right-handed batter, we stay on this bottom right plane, bottom right edge corner of the zone with that four-seam fastball. Bots will get hits, but trust the process. This is definitely the way to go. I always start them with that fastball over on the bottom right, and then depending on the batter, we go curveball to the high and in left side of the zone. If it's a righty, we go high and in, obviously, to the right side of the zone. Here's Ruth. Maybe could have gotten that out at second, but we just got the safe out. And that's going to bring on 2 outs now with a runner on second. And this one is going to fall, so we're going to half click out again. We don't want Fox rounding home. Justice not going to be able to throw him out here. And now we got Alexandra coming to the dish. Hit a sharp grounder, short, and get out of the inning. So, could have been 1-0 game, but follow these tips and tricks. You know, they're not going to steer you wrong. Hopefully Kaya doesn't hit this one out on the first pitch again and takes low and away for ball 1. Kaya got that buff, and here we go. So, let's see. Yep. So now we can go to second. This throw should go to first. So you could see if you guys kind of go back and rewind that, you'll see the fielder gets it right before Kaya gets to first base. So without runners on, again, you can take that extra base and not get thrown out there, right? Because typically the throw is going to go to first. On ground balls in the infield, with that one that just happened by Emily, or for this, for example. Oh, he didn't go there. That's interesting. Okay. Well, typically, I think because of the error, that kind of screwed things up. But typically what will happen is if you hit a grounder in the infield, you have a runner that's on like at second, and it's not a force play. You can start that runner. The bot will generally throw over to that base, and obviously you just want to bait them into throwing over there so that your runner could be safe at first. So that's all I was trying to do there. Didn't work out for me. This one might drop. Yep, it does. And going to be safe at third. So bases loaded here. And so dangerous territory. Again, they'll get hits, but you just got to trust the process. Same routine. There's no reason to change it up. This works. And that's going to be a pop out. And Max will at least get the out at second. May have potentially had the out at home there, but we at least get one. I'm not too concerned with giving up runs against spots because you're going to easily be able to come back and win. And they're almost got the double play there. And that's going to bring up the number 9 hole hitter, Brock, with 2 outs. So 2 out spots are a little more dangerous if they haven't really done much damage, especially if they haven't scored any runs. But Brock here, weak grounder. Emily throws him out. And we'll see if we can come back here in the bottom half of the inning. 2 aboard for Justice to walk it off, as Justice takes high and in for ball 1. And that went just off the plate outside ball 2. And ball 3, typically they throw a lot of strikes. And that one's crushed to center field. Emily's going to score. Jiro's going to go to third. And Wilson looking to be the hero here to walk it off. And that one's going to be deep enough. And weirdly, Bots will just throw all the way home here. No cutoff. And that's the game right there. So Wilson gets the job done there. Against Wong, the bot, of course. And I think we got time for one more game. But the most important aspect of playing against bots is the pitching. Hitting, anybody can hit strikes, meatballs thrown right down the middle, or at least you should be able to. And as I mentioned in the last video, playing bots, it's a fantastic way to a fantastic way to practice and improve on manual batting, right? The practice mode, not necessarily set up for all aspects of manual batting, right? It's really there to get timing down against maybe pitchers that you're struggling with. But because they generally, in practice mode, will just throw the balls right down the middle of the plate, you can't really productively practice your plate discipline. So with bot play, because they do throw some balls here and there, you can really kind of hone in and really, it feels like more like a game, right? I'd say it's halfway in between practice mode and an actual live human opponent. So it's a good step in the right direction. And I would also tell people as well, the people that think, I pressed the wrong button there, so we're going to get that out of the zone. People that think like, oh, well, if playing bots is so easy, why don't you just play bots all the time and just win that way? The answer is simple. The more you play bots, like I said, it's halfway between practice mode and playing a human opponent. So playing a human opponent is much more difficult than playing a bot. Once you get the whole bot thing figured out, it's super simple. It's predictable. You know what's going to happen. There's really not a lot of skill involved. The only and here's a fire liner, so we'll do a half click out. We'll go back in. The only real skill that you can work on against bots is, like I said, for those that are new to manual batting or considering trying manual batting and want to give it a shot. This throw should go to first again. We're going to take second. And, it'll help you out tremendously, or at least it should. So that's all I would recommend, because you end up playing bots too much. You're just going to make yourself worse. And then it's time to go face a real player. You're going to be dog shit. And that's just the reality of it, So, I recommend it, as Emily tees off there against Shotaro. And that's what I'm saying. They're just going to throw meatballs. So for this video really isn't as much for the offensive content as it is for how to pitch against bots, because I know people get so frustrated, like, oh, this guy's just hitting every single ball no matter where I throw it. Well, you're throwing the wrong pitch, even if you're not using Murdoch, right? There's still certain pitchers that succeed against bots, and as we go into our last game here, and there's certain pitchers that are really just terrible against bots. I highlighted in my last video a few pitchers, Murdoch being the main one that's great against bots. Luna is another one that does a decent enough job. Fernandez, Michelle, anybody that has that's good with control, right? Those high velocity type pitchers, such as like Simon, specifically Simon, horrible against bots. I have tested out Simon a little bit more against bots and found some success, but not nearly as much as this method with Murdoch. So if you're just trying to practice manual batting, or if you are, press the wrong button there. Got the out anyway. If you are a Murdoch user, then now you know exactly what you got to do against a bot. And it's, if you haven't seen the first 3 games here, however many we've played, super simple. I'll repeat it for the last time here, but fastball in that right bottom corner, curveball to a left-handed batter or right-handed batter, high and in. And that's it. You don't change it up. You don't go curveball low. You don't go fastball high. And if you do have Murdoch and you do get to 2 strikes, you want to keep that 2-seamer down here in this bottom quarter of the zone, right? You elevate that 2-seamer, they're going to drop it in for a hit, as Gibson able to get Ruth over to second there. And I found with players like Michelle and Fernandez, for example, obviously the 4-seam fastball, and then some players have said, on the two-seamer you can throw wherever, just keep it low, right? Some players, is he going to be safe? Oh my God. Some players have said that Fernandez's circle change doesn't work against bots. I've had mixed results. Maybe some of the time it does, some of the time it doesn't. But you could try it out for sure. You want to alternate between a fastball and an off-speed pitch, and whichever player you use, you're going to pitch it to the same exact location, right? As Kaya grounds out here to start the game. Don't get discouraged too if you're facing a bot and you're getting meatballs right down the middle and you're just grounding out. Typically at 2 outs, you'll get kind of like a shadow buff, if you will, and start putting some hits together. As Emily cranking one up the middle there. This throw again should go to first. We're going to send Emily to second. And now in scoring position for our last game here. And apologize about that. I thought I had do not disturb on. As Jiro going to come up here and look to put this game away for us in this spot play video. So again, lots of good stuff in this video. If you missed any of it, go back through it. But that's typically it. I covered pitching a lot. Hitting, great way to practice and master. Maybe not master, but you can become significantly better manual batting by just playing some bots and practicing that way. Another benefit, if you're ever nerfed, right? If you're like, man, like I'm just getting screwed, or baseball clashed, as they like to say, right? You can jump into some bot games and get your confidence back up. Sometimes that just resets your algorithm, maybe subconsciously or not. But I have noticed, like if I'm playing ladder and I don't lose a whole lot, but if I'm noticing like my hits just not dropping, or even if your timing is off, your plate discipline's messed up, there's advantages to going into it that the practice mode does not offer, right? So, all right, you guys, well, drop a comment on this video and let me know what you think. If you guys have any more questions about this, I'll answer them in the comments. I really like to get your guys' feedback on this one. And be sure to drop a like if you enjoyed it. And please remember, subscribe to the channel, show some support as we try to grow and reach more people in the Baseball Clash community. All right, you guys, thanks for the time. We'll see you next time.